All right, so looking at the tires today. So these are the Cooper, what do we call it? RS3-S, size 215 45 17. So basically just a little bit wider, and because of the wider width, the profile ratio is the same, but because of the wider width, the actual width is bigger than the factory. Right. So I just put these tires in. Sorry, what day was that? That was on Saturday. Today's Tuesday, and it's basically been raining all weekend. And I've driven this in the dry and the wet, and they perform really well. In the dry, I didn't really notice much of a difference between these and the Michelin 4S's, the Pilot. What is it called? Pilot Sport 4S. In the wet, I do notice a very, very small difference in grip with the Michelins over these. So the Michelins are slightly better, but it's not that much of a difference. Like I said, I mean, you have to be pushing it really hard. I mean, I was driving this thing in the rain faster than I would normally drive in the rain, and I was very surprised at how grippy it was. It's like I didn't slip out at all. It was total control. I had, the feedback was all there. It felt fine. It was very predictable. There was only time that it slipped out was basically I was at a stop and making like a right turn or a left turn, and I just basically going through it, just gunning it in first gear real hard, and I was skip out, slide out the back, right. When I did that, they were very, very predictable, and they felt fine, very stable, complete control. I didn't have any. It didn't spin out or anything. It was like everything was very controlled, very, very, very predictable. So I'm digging these tires. So yeah, they're totally worth it. I mean, these were on clearance on Tire Rack for basically half the price compared to the Michelins. I mean, you can get the Michelins on sale for like $100 off, or even as much as $150 off. I've seen that through Costco. But still, the Michelins are like, for the same size, are about $800. Even with it on sale, it's still $650. And these ones I got for less than $400. I got these for, how much did I get these for? They were just under $400, like $390 or something like that, around $389, $390. So just let's call it, $400. But of course, I had to pay for mounting too. So mounting cost me $20 per tire. So basically, I was looking at about $475 or so. If I got the Michelins through Costco with the sale, with the $150 sale, that would have cost me $650 mounted. $650 mounted. So basically, I'm saving like $150 or so. So 150. Let's see. Yeah, actually closer to $200. Like 175, 180 bucks or something like that. But anyways, so price wise, I think these are worth it. They are a little bit heavier. I mean, it's hard to say because it's been a year since since I first put the Michelin on, over a year, and those felt good. But I can't compare these new compared to the worn out Michelins, because when your threads are worn out, you probably lose. And my threads were worn out. They were balding. You probably lose easily 5 pounds off the tires. So stock, the Michelins are 19 pounds. These ones are 21 pounds. Is at least according to Tire Rack. So it's 2 pounds more. Then also you got to think about the Michelins being being worn out. So let's say 5 pounds off that. So that's what's 14 pounds versus say 21 pounds. So that's 6 pounds right there. And also when they're worn out, the diameter is a little bit smaller as well, just a little bit. So those two things, the less weight and the smaller diameter, will let you accelerate faster. And that's what I felt. Once I put these on, I felt that my acceleration was definitely slower. It was noticeable. It was enough to be noticeable. a little bit more sluggish in the acceleration. Especially from a dead stop. Once you get moving, it's not that much of a difference. I can still feel it a little bit, but I notice it most from a dead stop. But then like I said, I can't remember how it felt when the Michelins were new. I think they were a little bit more responsive as far as the acceleration goes, but that was over a year ago, so it's hard to say unless I'm using them both new ones back to back. It really is hard to say. But as far as performance goes, I'm happy with these. It was definitely worth the cost. The lower cost. You didn't get that much of a performance difference. It's so minor. I mean, you gotta be pushing it really hard, driving really fast, faster than you should be for street, for being on the street, to really notice the difference. So yeah, so these are real good. Way better than the stock tires. The stock tires, they were garbage. They would slip and slide. Even on dry conditions, the stock tires would slip and slide. And these ones, no slipping and sliding at all in dry conditions. In wet conditions, hardly slipping and sliding. Only if I've really it was really unsmooth and jerky, and if I purposely wanted to make it slip and slide, then it would. But otherwise, they didn't. So I'm really digging these tires right now. Again, they were a lot cheaper because I got them on clearance. I have no idea what the regular price is. I think the regular price is still cheaper by probably at least $100, I think. Because the regular price on Michelins, each tire is about $200. These ones, I think each tire is probably about $150 or so, somewhere around there. That's the regular price, and I got these for less than. I think these ones were. I think they were $89 each. 89. Let me see, 89 each. 89 times 4, so basically $90. 90 times 4, that's $360. I can't remember if there was free shipping or not. Anyways, it was under $400, and with mounting, they probably cost me about $480 at the most. I think less. I think a little bit less than $480. Probably closer to $460. But anyways, yeah. So that's the initial review, and I won't talk about these again until basically I'm about to change them out. We'll see how long these last. My stock tires, they lasted me 9,000 miles, but back then it was basically, for the most part, it was still stock setup, stock suspension and everything. It was only I think it was only around 7,000 miles or so that I start to have different suspension. 6,000 or 7,000 miles when I start to play with the suspension and do different things. Whereas with the Michelins, I had the Öhlins the whole time, the Öhlins and the sway bars, and basically my current suspension setup, what I have right now, I had the whole time for the Michelins, and those lasted me 8,000 miles. So we'll see how long these ones last. Hopefully they last at least 8,000 miles, if not longer. But anyways, yeah. So that's just the initial review of the Coopers compared to the Michelins mainly that I had before. Again, for street use, there's no sense to spend a ton of money. Unless you're driving stupid speeds, but you shouldn't be driving stupid speeds on the street. That's just dumb. It's just totally irresponsible. So I just like to go a little bit above the speed limit. Just a little bit above the speed limit, and that's fine. 5, 10, maybe 15 miles an hour above the speed limit, and that's more than enough for me. More than enough to have fun with. Yeah. All right. So thanks for watching.